Thank you. Thank you for coming, and I have your document here. Are you aware that there's a 55-acre vacant site just north of here that is part of the Allen District Plan? That is the Allen District Plan. And there's nothing on it except for a subway station. And I'm just wondering, I'm curious to know why you're focused on 50 Wilson Heights and you're sort of almost settling for less, and really the opportunity is up there.
I think if you read our letter, we're actually very interested in what your design review panel said, which was that if Downsview ceases to be an airport in the next couple of years, you could do more density on Wilson Heights. Of your 4 fast-track sites this year, we sent letters of support in to Wilson because we think that the density is appropriate at Wilson, given the current constraints. We supported the Vic Park site. We had concerns about Merton. We had concerns about the Warden sites. So, this 55 acres that you're talking about, hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks, we're hearing that that's going to be added as the Create TO Wave 2 for housing now. Like, you guys have to do, 50 acres a year at this kind of density to get to the targets that you've set. It is disruptive density for your neighborhood, but
Yeah.
that's like at Yorkdale, those kinds of disruptions.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was just curious on why you would settle on this site when in fact there's a 55-acre above it. Why you put a lot of energy?
We didn't settle on this site. Your staff put it into the list of targets for fast track last year. We responded to that with the appropriate height and density to make the math work.
Well, no, I appreciate that. Certainly, what I see here is not exactly staff recommendations, but so you're not shy about taking on city staff, that's for sure.
Or city councilors.
Or city councilors. So you say here people not parking. Fair enough. Would you agree that many of the people who use parking are seniors or disabled? Many of the people using this lot are parking there to go downtown for life-saving treatments at hospitals. Would you say there's no intrinsic value?
You can have all the wheelchair parking you want at that site. I would quite happily pay somebody to sit at the entrance every day and track how many people who have those special needs. Your staff did a check on it, and I believe the number was that more than 40% of the parkers who were there were actually coming from outside the city of Toronto, right? So, who are we subsidizing? Who are we getting cheap parking to? I'm giving parking to cheap people from Vaughan. Why are Toronto taxpayers giving cheap parking to people who don't pay Toronto property taxes? If you think there's a concern about disabled people or people going to hospital not being able to get a parking spot, I would happily put somebody on that gate who will let all the disabled.
You're not going to do that. You're not. You're saying you're going to do that. You're not going to do that.
No, we'd be happy.
And you don't have the authority to do that.
That's fine.
So
I believe you do, sir.
I guess the other thing is you're running a value system. Could we not run a value system on almost anything we do at the city? I mean, housing affordability is crucial. It's the #1 issue affecting the city. I can say that. And
So then why are we arguing about a parking lot?
So you could run a value system on anything we do. You could the zoo's losing $30,000 a day. You could say people, not penguins. Why aren't you running down with a banner about that?
Well, the people, not penguins, the zoo, if I recall correctly, for like 5 or 6 hours charges $12 for parking. So you can have all the parking you want if you're willing to charge people $3 or $4 an hour to park there, like the zoo does. I can't justify 24 cents an hour on 8 acres of land next to a transit station during a housing crisis. I mean, that's insanity. And you're a fiscal conservative. If you think the right thing to do is to give stuff away at 24 cents an hour so somebody can park empty car storage on lazy land, then we're making a value choice here.
Well, at $30,000 a day, the subsidy of the zoo is far, far greater. So I'm saying that my office, I'm not going to argue with you.
That's your last question, Councillor.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you
I think
afterwards,
so.
Councillor.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next speaker,